Libras, this is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Let's just jump right on in. The moon is in, you're moving towards first quarter moon in your zodiac sign. I am my only competition. That's it. It's you. You versus you. Talking to you over wherever Libra is in your birth chart. Okay. These cards want to pop out the deck. Okay. So someone was competing with you for money. This came out under here. Somebody was behind your money. Somebody was behind competing for your money. This is interesting. Okay, we even really get into your reading yet. So somebody was playing the Pied Piper. They were trying to find out like dark side of you, the shadow side of you, so they can enlighten a group of energies. Kind of to see with like behind burning your money or behind something as far as your money is concerned. Um, hmm. Okay. Yeah, but like I said, you're your only competition. So let's get into it. Um, let's get a number. Yeah, the moon in Libra is people that you would have their back, but they will stab you in the back, right? You'll do something to have their back, and then they'll, with someone else, turn around and stab you in the back in court or spiritual court, or 3D or 5D court. So it's saying 13. You're going through some kind of a rebirth. I am confident you are a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goals. So, rebirth. Yep. So, something about you having to do with the physical existence of things comes alive. Not necessarily just money, because money is a form of energy, but just like being around energies who have done the shadow work. And remember Pluto, which is a judgment card, and they don't judge you. This also connects us with rebirth as well. So something about them comes alive when they're operating in their purpose in the physical realm. Like they know their worth and they know their value, right? Um, and so you can talk about things without somebody trying to bring out the dark side of you, or like wanting to become familiar with your shadow side, learning the what you've healed from and those kind of things, right? So yeah, let's jump into your reading. Those two cards came out. So yeah, there's somebody that was behind. They saw you as competition in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Um, they want to be familiar with how you made your money and then compete with you. They want to enlighten other people to compete with you. That's not somebody who's necessarily operating in their north node. That's someone who is still on, they're grieving something around, they're grieving something in the physical realm. Yeah. Let me see something here. Yeah. Yeah. So somehow they like to attach themselves to people's multiple streams of income. But somebody who is operating in north node is not necessarily trying to attach themselves to your name or to your money or anything like that. They just, something about your energy motivates them. And that's it. So people happen to know you, but yeah. Something about this energy does a lot of name dropping. Here we have the Knight of Wands here. Um, yeah. They become familiar with other people's energy and then they're ruthless, talking about people using their name, to say their name is like a garden tool or whatever. Y'all know what word I'm saying, but talking about free spirited energy in a negative way, but they'd like to do a lot of projection and calling people names. So you're going through some kind of a rebirth because you felt some kind of bait as soon as you walk through a door. Yeah, as soon as you walk through a door, but you're in celebratory mode now. These types of energies like to bait people into things so that they can somehow be connected to their money in some way, shape, form, or fashion to increase their wealth, to financial independence. But so it's just saying somebody who is literally operating in their north node is not going to try to bait you into anything at all. They're not trying to bait you into anything. They're not trying to switch up on you. None of those things. Yeah. So you got a message loud and clear. Something about something for some people runs real deep, like, lying about their money or lying about other people's money, right? Runs real, real deep. See this right here? These two hearts, these two hands right here. And something for you, you wouldn't go back to something if you saw a pig fly through the sky, but there's a separation that's happening here. Looking at the cards here, it's like a parting of I can't even say the Red Sea, but it's like parting of a depth of emotions with something. There's like a lot of deep emotions connected to something that you're parting ways with. Parting ways with. So as you're going through your rebirth. Yeah, so money is coming across your path because you're no longer paying attention to two energies anymore who like to bait people into things and attach themselves to people's money. Um, you're not paying any more attention to that. Something is over. Yeah, here's the Eight of Swords here. You're looking back and just seeing how you would have been caught up in some kind of a karmic cycle where it would have flipped on you. Something would have flipped on you. Something would have gotten you in a lot of trouble. To stay connected to some energies. Let me see. Again, you're your only competition. Yeah, in this rebirth, something about you operating in your north node just makes you come alive. Another spirit takes over. So I do see somebody doing their shadow work, spending a lot of time, near water, being out during the day, recharging, resetting. But yeah, some energies definitely wanted to keep you connected to them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I'm seeing multiple streams of income. Somebody's just learning how to just move through a storm quietly. Just move on. Somebody's just really learning how to just move through storms quietly in life. And that's what a lot of people have in common. Somebody's learning how to just move on. Yeah. I see you being down to earth and relatable. It doesn't really matter what your gender is, right? I see you being down to earth, relatable. Somebody who has gone down that rabbit hole before of let me see, financial independence, but somehow connecting your money to some other streams of income, but not being fully aware of everything. Your energy is directed outward, your sign, but you are ruled by a feminine planet. So you don't really know what you're receiving. You're sending out the message that I have people's backs, but you don't really know what you're receiving back. Right? That's why Source had to send you through a rebirth, because you really don't know what you're receiving back. Like in terms of how people are getting paid, so now somebody's, having to realize just how ruthless energies can be when you fall for the bait. Karmic couples. Yeah. So here we have the Hangman here. Somebody's made a lot of sacrifices in terms of investments. You made a lot of sacrifices in terms of investments. And this is what you have in common with other people who have learned how to just sail through storms and just move on. They just move on quietly through storms, going through a rite of passage. And then looking back and just seeing how much time and energy some energies have invested in some things only to be burned, only to be set up, only to be burned, lied to. See, somebody saw you as competition from the beginning. It's just not cool at all. Anyway, Source saying, so you're learning how to hang in there with yourself on the rebirth side. You're learning how to say, okay, let me hang in there with myself. Let me empty that part of myself out of just thinking length of time that somebody won't end up burning you. Length of time you've been around energies, they won't end up burning you. So, yeah, so you're cutting ties. Somebody's going to tell you that your words are going to be used against you. Or they're going to make you feel like, playing a lot of mind games, like your words will be used against you, like in the court of law. Yeah, but somebody knows what their soul needs. And this is what a lot of people have in common. I feel like I'm talking about somebody's family here. Like somebody's telling me, basically saying you're going to regret something. You're going to regret linking up with somebody. I feel like somebody's family or friends are saying that you're going to regret linking up with someone. Because somebody may feel like somebody is very competitive, or somebody may have lied and said somebody was very competitive, and except somebody who is very competitive doesn't necessarily have to be your competition when they are on a team with you. Does not necessarily have to mean that they're only competing with themselves. That's why this right here, you're your only competition. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, Two of Cups here. Yeah, so here we have. I see you. You're starting to really listen to your body too. Somebody's really starting to listen to their body. Like pay attention to um, when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, knowing the difference between um, when your body wants water or it wants food. Let's see what else we have going on here. Let's see, Ace and Nine. I mean, it's Nine of Pentacles. And Six. Yeah, somebody's definitely going through a rebirth in their money. Let me see. So yeah, I see your abundance and your prosperity growing here. Full moon, around the full moon, and I put all this. I put a lot of information on my TikTok and also YouTube shorts about the rituals during the moon phases. New moon, waning, waxing, crescent, full moon, first quarter, um, last quarter moon. All of that's out there. So all of that is out there. You're learning how to see something from a higher frequency. When people feel something in their body, like when their body feels a certain kind of way, somebody's learning, okay, time to go in to protect yourself. Like you could be having a feeling about something. Back is hurting, emotional eating, these kind of things. And syncing with the moon phases. So yeah, here's the Six of Cups here. Something for you. Um, Somebody has been in their North Node since they were in the sacral chakra development stage. You and somebody. That's what you and somebody have in common. That's why you and somebody don't talk negatively about people behind their back because you never know what people have gone through. But somebody's somebody has been in their North Node, believe it or not, since they were a kid and didn't realize it. Mm-hmm. Yep, you and somebody have been in your North Node since you were a kid but didn't realize it because Six of Cups is like something died in someone. Like if a loved one or somebody, like somebody went through a divorce and somebody couldn't explain the emotions, that's the end, that's a death of something. Or somebody had to move around a lot, had to say goodbye to their friends. People couldn't really explain the emotions because people were too busy working, or like some kind of major life change happened where something in you just almost is like, okay, you just kind of sort of surrender. Like you um, go into this, you go into a rebirth. So that happens like if somebody's growing up and, grow up in a family where there's, phone is always ringing. This person died in the family. That person died. There's always something happening where there's a lot of grief going on. Maybe somebody's pet died, you know, or something that you can handle now, but you may not have been able to handle then. But that at that very moment when something transitioned is when something else in you was awakened. That was your North Node. Yeah, so somebody's working on themselves. Here's the Knight of Pentacles here. Somebody's learning how to really work on themselves. Um, like from the ground up, somebody's working on themselves. Somebody's getting outside during the day, doing more walking, recharging from the earth, grounding or earthing. Somebody may like to ride horses. So somebody may get out and just maybe walk their horses if that's what they like, or horseback riding. Somebody's just getting out in the earth, being, connecting with the earth more. That's how somebody's going to save themselves. See a horse right here also. You better tell the difference between the two. You better tell the difference between the two. Who's in a poisonous environment and who is in a who's awakened and who's still grieving something. Yeah. Yep. And who's out at night carrying weapons at night? Two energies. So Source is saying to you, somebody's learning how to get out during the day, do some more grounding, during the day, recharging from the earth, getting fresh air, letting the sun hit your face, being near water if you can. You don't have to live near water. You can listen to water sounds while you're walking or, kind of out. So let's see what else we got. Let's see. But yeah, you're your only competition, really. All right. Soul awakening. So yeah, this person is kind of look like they're taking an early morning walk. But you're quite irresistible when your mind and your heart pulse in the same rhythm. Why spend your days fighting yourself? You have better things to do. Yeah. So don't give up. It's okay that things don't always feel easy and effortless. Some of the best moments in life happen during and after hard times. Keep believing. Rejuvenate yourself. Know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself. You have full permission to rest and say no. Whatever you wish. When you lessen the importance of problems and suffering, life will swing back into balance. Stop the struggle and feel the peace. The world responds to you. And then authenticity attracts. Being authentic attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. When you stay true, you naturally filter out those who don't align with your path. All right, last two, and that's it. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, but somebody's going through a rebirth. You are going through a rebirth. You and somebody are going through a rebirth. It could be you and a child, or you and a spouse, or you and somebody, a sibling, somebody, or you and a partner. But you're journaling your dreams. Yep, going through a rebirth. Learning how to not fall for the bait when people are being ruthless. Yeah, so some kind of celebration is coming up soon because you've done the shadow work. Some kind of celebration is happening very soon for someone. Deepening. Look at the little cat shadow. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. They bring the peace of God. All right, let's see. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So somebody does have love coming across their path. Soulmate coming across their path, which is nice. But somebody has gained some clarity about some things around, I want to say, the meaning of death / rebirth. Somebody's also doing the mirror work. Somebody's learning how to move on beyond what people think they're making, comments people are making behind your back. Everybody's not making disparaging comments behind people's backs or yours and someone else's backs. Everybody's not trying to destiny swap or be something that they're not. Why would somebody want to be that? Something that they're not, or somebody that they're not. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. All right. You are your only competition. That's it. All right. Bye.